It is hotting up. The tension's building. It's all getting a little bit nerve-wracking now because we're down to our top 2 episodes. And in at number 2, just missing out on the top spot, it's an early episode. It gets a little bit sci-fi, and here's a clue. That's your clue. So this is an oldie, but a goodie. This is season 1, episode 4, and this is where Curtis first starts to come to grips with the whole time travel thing. He has to go back in time and change something to change the future, but then every time he changes something, it all turns a bit shit. So it's a word of warning, really. Those of you at home with time machines, you know who you are. Don't try this at home. That's my stern face.
He's got this past where he had all this promise to be in the Olympics, which must be quite painful, and you really got an insight into that in this episode. Out of all of them, he's the one with the wasted talent.
His girlfriend, or sort of ex-girlfriend, Sam, turns up.
Hi.
Fucking ridiculous. I feel like I'm really disgusting. She's been in prison for 6 months.
When'd you get out? A few days ago.
And she blames Curtis for putting her there because she got caught with some cocaine that they were both doing in a club.
My life is fucked. And that's on you. Sam.
Because he feels so guilty, goes back in time to the moment where it all happened in the club when they got caught.
I remember really vividly him always coming out of it with such a kind of a lurch forward. You know, it was almost like a painful thing that was happening to him.
He realises that he can use this opportunity to change the scenario so that she doesn't end up in prison.
What? You got the money? What? Hey! Hey! Police, stop! Police! Open the door right now!
We also got little mini introductions to everyone else through the medium of time travel. So we met everyone before they were on community service.
What they used to get up to before they had tags.
We saw Kelly as this kind of party animal.
Come on, you watches, let's have it!
Alicia trying to flirt her way out of getting caught by the police.
Who sold it to you?
Come on. I'm a good girl, really.
And Simon really sadly turning up to giving drinks to friends who didn't even really want him there.
I got your text. Poor old Simon, like, getting douched off by his mates. Well, not that they were ever his mates, yeah.
I was texting my mates. I meant a different Simon.
Robert Sheen really springs out in my head. You know, he was always an amazing, like a pinnacle of the of the Misfits.
He says he's on community service for having pick and mix.
Excuse me? You can't just help yourself to anything you fancy. This is not a buffet.
And we find out that it's actually true.
That's theft. I could have you arrested for that.
Really? For eating some pick and mix?
You're paying for the sweets in your mouth and for that drink.
Beverly. Isn't that a woman's name?
Pay up and leave.
Maybe you were born with both sets of genitalia. You know, like a chick with a dick.
Can I have security at the concession stand,
Well, I'm
please?
guessing your parents wanted a boy, so they kept your cock and sewed up your clunge.
You're coming with me!
I'm being assaulted by a chick with a dick! Help me! They sewed up his clunge!
You shit!
They sewed up his clunge!
Where are you? What happened with the police?
They let us go.
He manages to sort it out so that she doesn't get found with the drugs, but there's a tussle with the drug dealer.
Don't give me the fucking money! I'll get it!
And the drug dealer ends up stabbing her. He obviously feels horrendously guilty about that and then jumps back again.
It was the lack of control that he seemed to have that was really fascinating. And then that made you kind of really think, this guy's really young and he's dealing with this massive power that's a lot bigger than him and he can't understand or control it.
Obviously, when you change something in the past, then it has a knock-on effect in the future, and he keeps trying to change it. Sam, you've got to run.
All right?
Run!
Gets rid of the drugs.
You're a fucking dead man.
I don't think so. I think you want to thank me, cuz right now I'm your best mate.
Down, yeah, get down! Police, don't move! Don't move!
I've fucking done that.
Well, don't worry, stay calm. Let's have a look. Don't move.
Clean? Go on.
She doesn't end up going to prison and he doesn't end up going to do community service. So his career as an athlete blossoms, but he then finds out that all the gang end up dying because they're killed by the probation worker, Tony, who's gone mental.
What happened? We were doing our community service. The probation worker flipped out and he killed them.
And he realises that they die because he wasn't there to save them. So he then feels really guilty and goes back in time again.
I wasn't there.
And so he then realises that he needs to be on community service, so he gets rid of enough of the drugs so that Sam isn't implicated, but keeps a little bit on himself so that he then does community service. But that then means that him and Sam are still together, and yeah, him and Sam are still together. He stops everyone from dying from the probation worker, but then the relationship that my character and that Alicia and Curtis was kind of starting up then gets interrupted because Sam, who is now then his current girlfriend, turns up.
Hi.
Shit!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is it. You've all voted, and this now has been deemed by you the best episode of Misfits that there has ever been.